Ever wonder where the world's richest people actually live? The ultra-wealthy treat real estate like an investment portfolio, strategic, diversified, and often record-breaking. Let's dive into the high-priced world of billionaire homes. Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle Corporation, collects properties like art. Worth $194 billion, he owns estates from Hawaii to Florida. His biggest flex? Buying 98% of Lanai for $500 million, now home to a luxury retreat at $3,000 per night. In Florida, he set a state record with a $173 million Palm Beach compound, then flipped another for $145 million. His Malibu portfolio? Stacked with a $48 million Carbon Beach mansion. He's also restoring the historic Beachwood mansion into a $100 million private museum. What do real money moves look like? Jeff Bezos, worth $194 billion, is a master of wealth, dominating e-commerce, space travel, and luxury real estate. Amazon started as a tiny online bookstore in 1994 and is now a $1.5 trillion giant. Even after stepping down as CEO, Bezos still owns nearly 10% of the company, worth over $150 billion. But where does a billionaire park that kind of wealth? Let's take a tour of Bezos' insane real estate portfolio. First stop, Indian Creek Island, Miami. In 2023, Bezos went all in, buying a $68 million waterfront estate, a $79 million property next door, and a third for $90 million, totaling $177 million. Rumor has it, he's combining them into one mega mansion. Next, Hawaii. In 2021, Bezos acquired a $78 million beachfront compound by buying the entire company that owned it. The main house? 4,500 square meters of luxury. In Beverly Hills, Bezos broke records in 2020, buying a Georgian-style estate for $165 million. Fun fact, the antique flooring is where Napoleon proposed to Josephine. In New York City, Bezos spent $96 million at 212 Fifth Avenue, creating a mansion in the sky with a 3-floor penthouse plus adjacent units. Washington, D.C., in 2016, Bezos spent $23 million on 2 historic mansions in Kalorama, plus $12 million in renovations. He also bought the house across the street for $5 million, just for privacy. And Texas, Bezos owns 400,000 acres of ranch land, home to Blue Origin's launch site and a 10,000-year clock buried underground. In Manhattan, Bezos secured prime real estate in the century, starting with 3 condos for $7.65 million in 1999, then adding another for $5.3 million in 2012. Finally, Medina, Washington, Bezos spent $10 million on a 20,600 square foot mansion in 1998, then doubled down in 2010, buying the house next door for $50 million. With $28 million in renovations, this estate is now worth over $118 million. What does a $246 billion fortune buy you? Well, if you're Mark Zuckerberg, it gets you an insane real estate empire spanning Silicon Valley, Hawaii, and even Lake Tahoe. And let's just say, privacy is a big deal for the Meta CEO, sometimes a little too big. It all started in Palo Alto. Back in 2011, a year before his wedding, Zuck dropped $7 million on a 5-bedroom mansion just minutes from Facebook's HQ. But he didn't stop there. Over the years, he spent an extra $43 million buying up the 4 houses around it. His original plan? Demolish them and build a super compound. The city shut that down, so he settled for renovations instead. Oh, and let's not forget his custom AI assistant Jarvis, who even shot out fresh grey t-shirts from a Canon. Now that's peak tech billionaire behavior. In 2012, Zuckerberg bought a $10 million San Francisco townhouse. Not fancy enough, so he poured in $1.8 million, adding a wine room, wet bar, rooftop retreat, and a $65,000 kitchen remodel. By 2022, he sold it off market for $31 million, tripling his investment and setting a record for one of SF's priciest home sales. Not bad for a modest city escape. Now, let's talk about Hawaii, where Zuckerberg went big. He spent over $200 million building a 1,400-acre estate on Kauai, including a 16-car garage and a security headquarters to protect his $320 million real estate empire. But it hasn't been all smooth sailing. Locals were furious when he built walls blocking public access to the beach, and lawsuits over historic Hawaiian land sparked even more backlash. In response, he pledged to support conservation efforts, but the controversy still lingers. And then there's the rumored $100 million underground bunker. Zuck laughed it off, calling it a little shelter. But let's be real, if anyone's prepping for the apocalypse, it's probably him. In 2018, Zuck dropped $59 million on 2 Lake Tahoe estates, totaling nearly 10 acres of prime waterfront. Private piers, guest houses, a marina, it's the definition of luxury. Once venues for fashion shows and music festivals, they're now part of his growing fortress of privacy. Elon Musk, the richest man on Earth with a net worth exceeding $400 billion, doesn't play by billionaire real estate rules. Musk famously sold nearly all his properties. His current home? A $50,000 prefabricated house in Boca Chica, Texas, near SpaceX's Starbase. Before downsizing, Musk owned multi-million-dollar estates, including a San Francisco mansion he sold for $30 million. He also bought and later repossessed a Los Angeles home once owned by Gene Wilder, even loaning Wilder's nephew the money to purchase it. When the loan defaulted, Musk took back the property and foreclosed on it himself. From private islands to billionaire bunkers, the world's richest treat real estate like an evolving chess game.